of the captor. Those who became initiated into the Dark Brother and Sisterhood's cults were taught the finer details of the spirit world and how it works. Vile beings in the realm of afterlife betwixt dimensions began hoarding the human souls after death. Other times we were made while living to go to physical war in the name of the gods which only hurt us, fragile fleshes. This was forbidden times. Man was lost worshipping gods, stars, asteroids, and moons, thus destiny was created. Just as you see in the story of Jesus, the Essenes, known then as the Magi, were following a star that indicated to them the birth of what they had been waiting for. You will find many sects of ancient men that follow the stars. The Ishmaelite Arabs along with the Egyptians had extensive knowledge of such things due to the clarity of the stars in the desert on a clear Arabian night. Of course the knowledge and genius of the genie which was a jinn or jann. Many of which are trapped in desert regions in the sand. Sand is glass. They were confined there encased under sheets of it until men removed them from the bottle. They could beyond doubt prove that when a baby was born a star appeared first, thus they had knowledge of when someone important was born. 27 Page. Reason 14 The Egyptians were given extensive star charts of animalistic nature in which they emulated. The priesthood itself was in such complexity the people were made to dedicate every act of daily life to a separate star or deity, leaving little room for natural growth and unadulterated consciousness expansion. Subtly this becomes another reason why we as a people become servants of kings, queens, presidents, dictators, and icons who all follow the procession. I will not bore the reader with tales that can seem as myth in this primitive time of the futuristic coating we live in. We will just dive right into things as they are now. This way you have little to research because it is happening all around you as you live the truth. The world has now become a very large version of the boy who cried wolf. Now that the wolf is upon us, few believe that there is even such a thing. So many have come saying they know what the future holds, only to disappoint those who felt foolish to believe them, and this has made the people weary of warning and preparation. In this I know you will find an energy that will arouse you once more. 28 Page. Listen and I will instruct thee once more how to turn this language in thy favor. Gird thy comprehension and fail not to seek inner standing in these words. Humans have grown indeed complex and have no simple answer for their troubles, so look not for something easy in explanation. The time grows nigh and many are at the end of their cycle, some raising to eternal beauty and others to layers of retribution, sheets of fire in which they must be passed through with no end, miserable. If you say I am saved, lo, you are in error. None can be sure. If you say I will bow down now, nay, it will be impossible to stand up. It is wise to make haste in embedding your mind with exact knowledge beyond reproach, so you may position yourself to receive a fair judgment as you have been already observed. The faithful will find these words sweet to their ears, while the faithless will be made to listen for their jinn even seek a way to escape what is to come, and it will most surely not delay past its appointed time. Aka Saturn aka further time for short was the god known to rule the age of Aquarius, which we now find ourselves in again as of February 14, 2009, Valentine's Day. The symbol of Valentine's Day is a heart being pierced by an arrow. It is the esoteric symbolism of when our universe known as the Sagittarius dwarf would be passing through the heart of the Milky Way, crossing into the parallel universe B for a galactic lineup. At this very moment, while we are crossing the Great Divide, an opportunity that has been proclaimed for eons is taking place for those who are in the know. Reason 15 This is by far not the first Aquarian or Golden Age. In fact, this only represents the time of a shift. The energy of the cosmos actually assists a person, if they do a little seeking, to find higher truth. Once that time passes, those who have not seized enlightenment will come around the cycle again after death, remembering little of what happened before. The Golden Age movement is designed to get the whole world to rewind and relive a time long past. The most recent Golden Age in our history was the times of Hitler and Nazi Germany. 29 Page. The opportunity is the merging of collective minds and frequencies, allowing an individual to become the portal for higher essence and their higher purpose. Purpose equals energy. This other world is what we glimpse ourselves in at times while we are asleep or in vision, In this world everything appears as it really is and there are few limits. One has higher senses, can fly through the ether, considers not time, and can make contact with multiple beings. Omnipresence, the art of being in more than one place at a time, is possible in this parallel realm, thus you can visit multiple people all in one moment. This is why it is easier to contact other beings while in lucid sleep, so the controllers do their best to keep us from being conscious while in that world, even more than they do in this one. We tend to watch our dreams rather than control them, as in society we have a tendency to take things as they come and react accordingly rather than getting directly involved in the big picture. On the third dimension there are physical laws against omnipresence. Generally you can only separate your body into two parts while on third dimension. One of those two when split is basically a vegetable. The body, when lacking a soul, will appear limp with shallow life signs until the spirit re-enters it. The technique itself, when not a natural gift, takes proper training, as Dr. Monroe revealed in his hemisphere synchronization techniques before the CIA gained control of his work and altered it. Or maybe he was the CIA all along, especially since his father was a known CIA agent. When you are lucid riding the dream like a wave, you can call forth beings, and if you have the might to withstand them they will appear. Then you will see what they really are and you will learn why many of them we should not be worshipping. Destruction is a main part of keeping up the chaos on Earth, and many of these beings are destroyers. Now that the Hindu pantheism is the preference for the New World Order, they have unleashed a whole retinue of destroyers like Shiva, Kali, and Lakshmi. They con the person by telling them to think they must be destroyed completely to be made new again as they dissolve into nothingness. They are instructed to chant and meditate on the destroyer, which is a weakening tool. This is no different than nonsense like boiling frog's eyes in pigeon's blood, which Agrippa used to recommend to Caesar. The end of these things could never be positive because it began in negativity. Kali is bedecked in the severed heads of the victims she has destroyed. We will have to learn again how to judge with common sense and take things at face value. For many of us, our life is attached to time. The clock is one of the most valuable tools in controlling the mind. The elite know there becomes no use in counting time unless you plan on it running out. Imagine in immortality and infinity someone actually counting the hours and minutes, talking about useless. Saturn, also known as Chronos, which is where words like chronological and chronograph come from, was elected for time because of his rings, which signified like an old tree his length of time in the galaxy. In other words, those attempting to learn the age of this universe looked first to Saturn and the debris in its rings containing residue of lost planets that entered the golden 30 PAGE age of destruction and chaos, now long forgotten although their essence still remains. Reason 16. The stunning rings of El, rich with the debris of forgotten planets. Planets such as Maldek and Vulcan are seen clearly on ancient star maps but are now somehow gone. Some I believe are still in existence, others have left this galaxy, and some were destroyed in wars. The sign of Aquarius or the Golden Age bears witness with two wavy lines in which some say are signs of water and others that of lightning bolts. Known as the Age of Man, the water being dumped out signifies the cleansing or deluge. The mystery of lightning was shown by shooting an electron in sterile water and watching as a single-cell life form appeared out of thin air or a portal depending upon your perspective. That showed us that life could be created from nowhere out of virtually nothing except energy. This of course destroys the evolution theory. At this point there are many beings leeching from the human race, under many guises. Reason 17. The classic white-bearded depiction of Saturn. Few on the outer circle have figured out Saturn is affiliated with the serpent. Notice the largest serpent underneath Saturn's arm, not to mention what is happening to the child. They also refer to the bearded god as the great architect, although he destroys everything he builds. This is why Santa and the Wizard of Oz fit this motif. 31 PAGE. Reason 18. The Brotherhood of Saturn is in big service today, underpinning various organizations. Depicted below are the inner circle. The outer circle consists of all of the religious projects erected for global domination. This is Saturday, Satan, Santa Satan, Saint Saturns, Sabbath,